the beginning of the. We might finish up today, as we said, this lesson, even though it would probably continue on the rest of chapter 17. We probably won't get through today in the time we have, but we ask that all those from that point may read that and ponder on that as we get through this lesson today. But we finished up last time with Seal Book of Moses, chapter 3, verse 80, and we'll begin, 81 it was, sorry, not 80. And we'll begin today and share that from that point and learn more of what we can do. And we're running to a bit of a schedule, so we'll get started. And please, it is 81, yep. And we please, if you've got any comments, we can't see you or anything, but just let us know if there's a comment or something you want to say.
And also, you know, if you feel you would like to help by reading one of the paragraphs, we'll let you know as that comes up. Thank you.
Yeah, there's some quite long verses in this, the first two especially, or three.
Okay, right.
Yep. So I'll read the first one here. And when he was still a young man, God showed himself to Seth and commissioned him, and Seth gladly accepted his call to preach repentance among his brethren. It was therefore at the age of 69 that Seth was ordained to the priesthood by his father Adam. When it was then proposed to establish among his descendants the order of this priesthood of the Son of God, having for basis of all directives which were revealed from heaven, and the sons of men, knowing that this was the standard proposed by God from the beginning, that the presidency of the high priesthood should be handed down from father to son, or to a righteous descendant of the promise, if there is no worthy heir to assume the place of his father in the highest office that exists in the hierarchy of the church.
Yeah. Any comments on that? Do you think my mind goes back there to what happened after the death of Joseph Smith Jr. and Hiram, and the things that eventuated after that? It took some time before that literal descendant was able to fulfill this promise.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a comment there. Go ahead.
Oh, this is Bob. The part that struck me was, it's interesting, the part it says about having a worthy heir.
Yeah.
And so a deviation, I guess, of what God really wants is built into this lineal priesthood, and how important that is to have that option, because I think it was invoked a few times throughout history. Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Brother Bob. Yeah, and it's also interesting to note that the reason for this is because of the power of the priesthood that needs to be retained by that gift that the Holy Spirit brings to those that are called into this situation, and to serve as you know, the authority of the Lord within that priesthood. And so it's not just a right that anybody can take upon them, and certainly if they do, it's only in name only. There's no associated power with that. And of course, we're talking about mainly here the Melchizedek priesthood, which is the more spiritual, and the Aaronic priesthood being, of course, the more physical, or the things that happen in the directives of those that serve, you know, as teachers and deacons, and those that serve more that way. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. No other comments? No. Okay. Well, I guess we'll move on to. Yeah, this is our call to worship. Of course, we just read this, but we'll read it again, which is, excuse me, it's quite important. You can see the promises that are given through this verse here. Therefore, the priesthood presidency of the Son of God belongs rightfully to the literal descendants of the chosen seed, to whom the covenant promises have been and will be made, and this same order that has always existed will exist until the end of the world. Therefore, Adam, the president of the high priesthood in his day, spread the gospel with Seth and came to confer priesthood on Enos, son of Seth, when he was 134 years old. Sounds old these days.
Yes, well,
yeah.
It's interesting also to observe there that the age that the people lived in that day, in Adam's time, most of them lived, 800, 900 years of age was not, the most extensive. But I think as we read the scriptures, we know that changed after, I guess, the flood and about that time, maybe even before. Any other comments on this particular reading? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
We'll move on.
Okay.
I'll read this if you like. And God called Canaan, the son of Enos, by a messenger in the wilderness when he was 40 years old. He proceeded to preach repentance to the sons of Cain and the descendants of Adam. And after 47 years since God called him, on one of his journeys to Shedolamak, was that Canaan came upon Adam preaching among the multitude of his descendants. And it was on this occasion that Adam ordained him to the priesthood.
Okay. And we've got some readings there, and I've got the first one ready now, which is Genesis 6:7 in the inspired version, or Moses 6:7, the same. And it says here, now this same priesthood which was in the beginning shall be in the end of the world also. Yeah, okay, and the other reference is to D&C 104:18-21 there, and likewise in the LDS 107:40-45. And I'll just read that for you. Okay, here we go. The order of this priesthood was confirmed to be handed down from father to son and rightly belongs to the literal descendants of the chosen seed, to whom the promises were made. This order was instituted in the days of Adam and came down by lineage in the following manner. Okay. From Adam to Seth, who was ordained by Adam at the age of 69 years and was blessed by him 3 years previous to his, and it's got in brackets here, Adam's death, and received the promise of God by his father that his posterity should be the chosen of the Lord, and that they should be preserved until the end of the earth. Because he, Seth, was a perfect man, and his likeness was in the express likeness of his father, insomuch that he seemed to be like unto his father in all things, and could be distinguished from him only by his age. Wow. Enos was ordained at the age of 134 years and 4 months by the hand of Adam. And the last verse here, God called upon Canaan in the wilderness in the 40th year of his age, and he met Adam in journeying to the place of Shedolamak. He was 87 years old when he received his ordination. There you go.
Yeah, interesting little points in that as you consider what was happening.
Yeah.
And but the fact that this was to be the order of things until the end, till the utter end of the world. So it's still happening now.
Yeah.
And we saw that last highlighted with the passing on of the priesthood to Brother Mauricio through Joseph Frederick Smith before his passing just recently. Yeah. But that continued the lineal line because there was no other worthy recipient. But the priesthood power does continue then from Adam to today through Mauricio Arterburger. And that's quite a thrill when you think of it, that the connection is still there, and the priesthood power is still there, and the promises that have been made all through are still relevant today. So that's just an interesting point. Thank you.
Interesting. I don't know where I read it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I did read somewhere that in the last days that Adam Ondi Arman will once again have a visit from, I think Adam's name was there, I think, I'm not sure, and some others in that first priesthood. But I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay.
I haven't got
some research there might unfold some things. Any other comments on that one? Okay.
I should tell you that Sister Tilly and President Melva have joined us.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah.
It's Sister Tilly and Sister Melba.
Very good. Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
And but we're just having a look here at the priesthood authority that was passed down from father to son or lineal descendants worthy to receive. And this is where also in this particular verse 84, we're going to read about Adam Ondi Arman.
I didn't even realise it was coming up.
Okay.
Do
you want me to read this one? Okay. All right. And it came to pass when Adam was 927 years old that he gathered together in a place called Adam Ondi Arman, and Enos and Canaan and Mahalaleel and Jared and Enoch and Methuselah, all high priests of the holy order of the Son of God, and there bestowed the keys of his presidency on the head of Seth, being blessed by his father 3 years before Adam's death. And there's references there too.
Yeah, I can look at them now. Yeah, I'll get that one up. TNC. Yep.
But it's interesting that Adam was 927 years old.
Yeah.
And that when he gathered his place, and he would have been, 930 perhaps, when he passed away. Is that a correct assumption? If it was 3 years.
Yeah, it was 3 years.
Later
I think,
that
it wasn't
he died.
long after.
Yeah,
It wasn't long after.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll read these.
Yep.
There's two verses there.
Sure.
And I'll read the first one, and I think we read this before, but I'll read it again. From Adam to Seth, who was ordained by Adam at the age of 69 years and was blessed by him 3 years previous to his death. Yes, there's the 3 years.
Yep.
And received the promise of God by his father that his posterity should be the chosen of the Lord, and that they should be preserved until the end of the earth. And the other verse says this: 3 years previous to the death of Adam, he called Seth, Enos, Canaan, Mahalaleel, Jared, Enoch, and Methuselah, who were all high priests, with the residue of his posterity, who were righteous, into the valley of Adam Ondi Arman, and there bestowed upon them his last blessing.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Very good.
Because the name of that place is about 90 miles, I believe, from...
I'm not sure how far,
I think it was roughly... Is that correct? About 90 miles, there is a place called Adam Ondi Arman?
From the centre place, is it?
Yeah, from the centre place. That's what I heard somewhere. Yeah.
Yes, you're correct. And I found the reference I think maybe Brother Darren was thinking of. It's in LDS DNC section 116.
116.
It says,
I knew I'd read it somewhere.
It says Spring Hill is named by the Lord Adam Ondi Aman because Said he, it is the place where Adam shall come to visit his people, where the
Right.
Ancient of Days shall sit, as spoken of by Daniel the prophet.
Yeah. That's amazing to me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Rex.
Yeah.
That brings light on it that somewhere I had read, but it's in my mind, in the far distant valleys of my mind, and I can't recall where I read that. But thank you. That's very good.
Should we have any other?
And I
comments?
think Tacklers had their
Oh, yes,
hand
go
up
ahead.
too.
No, I did. The question's already been answered.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Brother Bob.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Should we see if someone wants to read this next verse?
Yep. So we'll have a volunteer if.
Oh, hang on. It's the beginning of chapter 17, so we better read the introduction here, I guess.
Right. Okay,
Yeah,
Darren,
so
you'd better do that.
That was the end of chapter 3, but why we are leaping to chapter 17 now, because it's Moses' interactions with God, and this is the story of Moses before the council of the heavens. And I was saying to Dad yesterday, this, from what I can work out that I've read, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is around about the same time that he received the D&C 22 in the RLDS, Moses chapter 1, the Pearl of Great Price, which is astounding to me. That always stands out as a scripture that gives me the wow factor. It just is amazing to hear that, what Moses saw and what he experienced. And so
it's not in the LDS
yes,
doctrine.
it is. Moses,
but not in as a section.
No.
But in the RLDS, it's section 22. And this you must write down, because section 22, as Darren has often said in our studies, that this would also be probably, if the book of Genesis was rewritten, it would be Genesis 1.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I believe it was actually given before Genesis 1 was given to Moses.
Yeah, when he was in this particular council. It's also interesting to note that possibly many of the prophets of God have experienced similar to what Moses experiences in this reading that we're going to share now from here on, because of its high spiritual connection, and the fact that this is also something that perhaps, the brother of Jared and Enoch would have shared in this too, and possibly Joseph Smith Jr. and Brother Mauricio, because I know that there is a lot that we just assume is part of the role of a prophet, but the preparation to those who are blessed abundantly this way in connections to the Lord leave us with testimony in little bits and pieces, because it's too spiritual for us to take in and fully absorb in our normal earthly state. So anyway, we'll start with the reading.
Sorry, my throat
was
giving out there.
Do we have a volunteer for verse 1?
Yeah, we can probably ask that.
Okay.
Looks like Brother Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Brother Bob. Okay, right. Thank you, Brother Bob.
And it came to pass in the 3rd month after we left the land of Egypt that we came to Sinai on the same day of the new moon. And after the congregation of Israel set up a camp at the foot of the mountain, behold, on the 3rd day, I went up the mountain to meet the only God. And from the mountain, Jehovah said to me, thus you shall say to the house of Jacob and to the children of Israel, your own eyes have seen what I did to the Egyptians. And now, if you will obey my voice and obey my covenant, You will be my personal treasure among all the nations, and I will make you a kingdom for me. You will therefore be a kingdom of priests and a holy nation.
Wow.
What a fantastic sort of introduction that would have been for Moses to take down and share with the children of Israel or the house of Israel at that stage, because he wanted them to be his personal treasure among all the nations. And you wonder when things go on and you hear of the grumblings of the house of Israel about the fact that they didn't like the food, or they didn't have enough food and were running low on water, and all the time complaining. The Lord still wanted them to be his personal treasure, but it couldn't be because they weren't prepared, and because of that, they had to be scattered, I guess, is what we see in what happened. But the promise is that the day will come when they will be gathered, and that a righteous people from that house of Israel will be then able to inherit this promise that was made in this particular time from Moses to them, of the Lord to them, actually.
Yep. We've got a comment. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is if anybody wants to make a note, in Exodus chapter 19, verse 6, it references, mentions the kingdom of priests and a holy nation. But this particular reference here in chapter 17, verse 1 that we just read is the first reference in the sealed book, picking up the story again with the kingdom of priests and a holy nation.
Yeah.
So it ties in with chapter 19 of Exodus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thanks, Brother Bob.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've written that down.
I remember
Yep.
I'd read it somewhere, but once again, as I say, my mind is foggy on where that was. So Exodus 19:6.
And that, I was just going to say, that same promise is even valid today to the second invitation, as far as I can work out, that we, if we obey his voice and his covenants, that and do all the things that he requires, that I think that same similar, I think it's written somewhere else in the seal book, I'm not sure, but that he will keep that treasure of a kingdom of priests, and that will become a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. I'm not sure it's in Acts of the 3 Nephites or somewhere, but anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
Therefore, under the cloud of the Almighty, I obtained the necessary instructions to organize the tabernacle of Israel for the full worship of the church of the Lamb in the wilderness. It was when the Lord caught me again, and I, Moses, obtained the information concerning this book, which should remain sealed until God judges it prudent. There is a reference there.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. Yeah, I'll look that up.
I'll keep going. To reveal these things to the children of men, when the Lord shall raise up a Moses like me, in the figurative sense, for he will be taken from among the nations, from a land that does not correspond to the covenant made by God with his people in the fullness of time. But this one whom God chooses will be sent to proclaim repentance to this people in the last days.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's some likenesses to what's been happening in our day and age to that, isn't there?
Yeah. And I'll read these references here. If
Okay.
You wish. Okay. The first one, 2nd Nephi there, 238 from RLDS and 319 from RLDS. And here we go. And the words which he shall write shall be the words which are expedient in my wisdom, should go forth unto the fruit of thy loins, And it shall be as if the fruit of thy loins had cried unto them from the dust, for I know their faith.
That's, yeah.
Okay.
And from the dust, of course, is from
Yeah.
records that were buried.
Yeah.
And so we understand that particular reference there.
Yeah. And
Okay.
The next one's from Ether,
Right.
chapter 2, verse 1 RLDS, and chapter 5, verse 1 in the LDS. And it says, And now I, Moroni, have written the words which were commanded me according to my memory, and I have told you the things which I have sealed up. Therefore touch them not, in order that ye may translate. For that thing is forbidden you, except by and by it shall be wisdom in God. Yep.
So at a future time.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. And I'll do the Moses reference in the reference number 2 here, which is D&C 22, which we were just speaking about before, which is, I urge everyone to read again when they have time. Okay. Yeah. Sorry to hold you up here. I've got to get
That's
to the Pearl
okay.
of Great Price.
Yep.
Because I've got the LDS version here. Okay. Okay, 41 and 42, chapter 1 I've got here, yep. And in the day when the children of men shall esteem my words as naught, and take many of them from the book which thou shalt write, behold, I will raise up another like unto thee, and they shall be had again among the children of men, among as many as shall believe. These words were spoken unto Moses on the mount, the name of which shall not be known among the children of men. And now they are spoken unto you. Show them not unto any except them that believe. Even so, amen. Yeah.
Interesting, that statement, isn't it?
All
Yep.
that believe.
Yep.
That's said quite a lot throughout some of the scriptures there on that.
Okay.
Any
Thank
other
you.
comments on that verse?
Okay, keep
Okay.
going then. Yep, we'll go to the next
we've
one.
got a little bit more time. We're not going to
And
get
we
very
might
far.
have a volunteer if we have.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can read it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Zachary.
Zachary.
Yeah, good. Okay.
On this occasion, I had the most astonishing privilege any man had ever had before. In preparation for what the Lord had told me, he led the children of Israel to the foot of the mountain on the morning of the 3rd day. Thunders and thunderbolts, and they sounded from the top, and the sound of trumpets sounded, announcing the coming of the Almighty.
Wow.
Thanks, Brother
Thank you.
Zachary. That's a beautiful
Yeah.
reading. How you could just
You can
imagine
it.
the,
Wow.
the feeling if you were there, actually on the base of the mountain, knowing that Moses was there and experiencing this, but you would also hear the sound of thunders and thunderbolts and the trumpet, and would be something you would never ever forget.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Verse 4. Do you want me to read this one?
Okay. Yeah. Is your voice going?
Yeah, I think it'll be okay
Okay,
for this
good.
one. I think so. The whole camp was filled with smoke, and the Lord had come down in a great chariot of fire. There was a cloud around the chariot, and rays of light pierced the fog in the sight of all Israel's nation. For how much it was possible to be seen through the fog, God sitting on his throne under a polished layer of fine amber, which stretched upon itself. There's a dash there. But behold, when the children of Israel came so close, God commanded me to go back to them and warn them not to come so close to something that they could not touch. Even same the priests, for the people had not yet consecrated all things in a united order, just as the people of Enoch did in former times. Wow.
Yeah.
There we go.
So,
Wow.
by the way,
Yeah.
do you notice there the importance of
Yeah.
the united
Yeah.
order in consecrating
Yeah.
all things? Any comments on that? Does it
Yeah.
don't do anything to you? Does it cause your mind to wonder? I'd love to hear comments on this by anybody, because I got feelings of wow, excitement. So, does it do anything to you? Yes, go ahead.
Oh, this is Bob. So you're talking about the consecrated all things in the
Yes.
United Order?
Yes,
Yes.
Bob.
Wow. Yeah, I relate with you, Brother Brian, because there's freedom in this.
Yes.
It's amazing. You know, you don't have to, I don't know, if any of us were endowed with a lot of money, there's a lot of stress with trying to manage that money, you know, and I suppose the more money you have, the more anxious you could be if you had it in houses or real estate or the market or somewhere. But you know, all that is just consecrating it to the Lord. He takes care of it. And so I remember, let me tell you just a little bit. The bishop was called upon a few times to consecrate the vehicles and that you see, that the guy that they use in Brazil. And Mauricio made a comment. He says, now the Lord will take care of it. We don't have to worry about it. And so I like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyway, that's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Brother Bob, because I was reading this morning, because actually this is somewhat connected to Sister Hafiella's class today.
Come at the right time, didn't it?
Yeah, but I was reading actually in I think Matthew, I've got it written down there. But anyway, about the rich man that came to Jesus, and he said, I've kept all the law and the commandments. Thou shalt, not steal, commit adultery, and all the other things that the law did. And Jesus said to him, that, but one thing that you lack is you are rich. Sell all your goods and give it to the poor, and then come follow me. And this is related to that. It's even for our day and age, we are tangled, and many of the church folk are tangled in connections to what's good that we've got, and how we treasure some of our possessions. And I must admit, even us as a family, my life has been brought up working on motor cars and doing those things that give us joy, and I find a happiness, and restoring them and making them look beautiful again. And wow, you have it to a point where it's almost perfect. It's really so good. And then you realize that that's not what the Lord wants from me, and not what the Lord wants from us. He wants us to give that away. And that's the big deal. And that I feel now so good that many of the things that we have done, and I'm not sort of blowing my own trumpet here. Please forgive me if it sounds that way, but I've got to express that some of the treasures that I've had all my life, they're no longer treasures anymore, because there will come a time when they will rust and be decayed away and worth nothing. Anyway, I'm sorry if I went on a bit long on that. Sorry.
We have to finish up in a second, but I did want to read this very short verse coming up next, and then I just wanted to read verse 6 and finish up there, if that's okay. So then we'll finish up, because we're right at the end of time. Therefore they could not bear the command that said, even an animal, if it touches the sacred mountain, must be stoned to death. Then, as I, the Lord, will spare him who profanes my sanctuary. Yep. That was talking about coming so close there in the last verse before that. But this is the last verse we'll share today. Behold, I, Moses, am not pleased with the lack of reverence of this people for my presence, and their evil laws is an insult to the Lord, their creator. For up there in the mountain, Jehovah laid his hand upon me and conferred upon me the keys of the dispensation which I should preside over. And he carried me away to a very high mountain above the clouds until I came to the city of God, the heavenly Jerusalem.
Once again,
Yeah.
there's a big wow factor in trying to express that, and even beyond.
But
So, but any comments and any?
Yeah, as we just finish up here. I think that's
it goes on, and if you
but
get time
where
later
he
to
then
read
was
this
probably
yourself.
instructed by the Lord, I would guess. After that, we've got a comment. Go ahead.
Well, yes, I agree. I agree. This is amazing, inspiring, sacred writings here. Zachary and I just happened to read it this morning before class, and
Wow.
it's just it's just hard to imagine, what this would be like. But I have a feeling for those that stick around for the next chapter, that we might be finding out a little bit about what was this all about. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I was going to finish up today, but if you think that is a wise thing to continue on next class, I can continue through the rest of this chapter. If everyone wishes, I can do that. Yeah.
Is there any thoughts that anybody would like to convey to us that be? Because we would do that.
Yeah.
But we just thought, that there was, it depends on the interest that you are gaining from the class. And I guess this is important because, we do need to understand what God is doing and has done and can do still with his people.
Yeah.
And we might need to learn that.
Yeah, we've got a comment. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm in favor of studying the sealed book in this particular chapter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter where you study, really. I'm thrilled to read the sealed book and to keep it fresh in my mind.
Good.
Thank you.
Good. Yeah, well, we'll continue on from here next time. I'll make a note of that.
Yep.
And we'll go ahead and finish. Excuse me, my throat's giving out again. But also, I did want to touch on some other points of doctrine that relate to this as well. But we'll definitely do some sealed book. Finish this chapter. We may not get through the whole chapter next time either, but it's definitely.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we will.
But thank you for your
Yeah,
interest
thank you.
in that too, Brother Bob. And I'm sure that for everyone in the class, you can see there is much more than we have even covered at this time. But it gives us some sort of a picture as to what happened when Moses met the Lord on that mountain. Yeah.
Okay. All right. We thank you,
Yep.
everyone, for your comments and.
Okay.
That's
Now-
good. Yep. Okay.
So
So
we
Continue
have
on.
a hymn which
Yeah.
we've got here.